Hello, Crochet Crew. My name is Michelle and I'm the creator of Bobble Stitch Queen. Welcome or welcome back. So on my channel, I talk all things crochet, yarn, market videos, market prep, just about anything. I like to chat and get to know you. So it's been a while, as you can tell. Things just got really busy. The last time I did a video was before I did my big market in Glendale, Kentucky, and that market went okay. I'm going to go a little bit over about that market. Not a lot of detail stuff, but that market went okay. I wasn't as busy as I was afraid I was going to be, because I had people telling me, oh my goodness, you're going to sell out, you're not going to have time to sit down, you're going to be slammed and constantly busy. And it was a good flow of people constantly coming through, but I didn't sell out, which is a good thing, and I did okay, but I think I could have done better at another market that I was asked to be at. But it was the same day as Glendale was, and I had already paid for Glendale and committed to it, and I wanted to give Glendale a try. So if I would have known, that I wouldn't have done as well as I was expecting, I would have probably gave up. I think the booth fee was like $100. I would have probably gave up that $100 booth fee to have done the one in Franklin, Kentucky, which would have been closer to my home. Glendale, it took me about 50 minutes to get there. Because it was so early, I ended up getting a hotel, so I had to pay for the hotel and I had to pay for food to eat out. So Glendale, it wasn't a good profit. It was some profit, but not much at all. So we got there that Friday night, and I'm glad that I set up my tent and all my tables, but it was like we were in this big field, and I have never done a craft show where the tents are butted, like smack dab, like right on top of each other. We were right on top of each other this way. There was a tent right on top of us on the back. So it was a lot of vendors, because they were expecting about 400 vendors. And I'm glad that I went the night before, put my tent up, my tables, my displays. I just did not put my inventory out because I didn't want to leave my inventory overnight. So it started Saturday morning. I think it started at 8 o'clock. It went from 8 to 5. And we had to be set up by 7 vehicles moved and everything into the designated parking area. So got up super early. They were also an hour ahead of us. They were in Eastern time zone where I'm in Central. So that messed with everything, but we got everything set up. It was chilly at first, but it ended up warming up and being nice. There was a good flow of traffic coming by the booths and stuff, people coming in. My husband and daughter walked around, and it took them a couple of hours to walk around for all the vendors. And I think my husband said he saw maybe 3 or 4 other crochet vendors, which is not bad out of 400. I just think it was just a slow time. I did have a couple people come up, and they were talking about how much cheaper my stuff was than another crochet vendor, which was awesome. So I know my stuff wasn't expensive. I think it was just, it could be a mixture of things. Too big of a market because there were so many vendors, or that people didn't get through to all the vendors, or they ran out of money because there were so many vendors. I mean, it could have just been a mixture of why I didn't do as well as I thought. The mixture of too big of an event, people ran out of money by the time they got around to me or whatever. But it was still a fun event, and my husband and daughter enjoyed it, and they said they would like to go back. So I would definitely do Glendale again, as long as it's not the same day as this other event that I got invited to. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. A lot of good vendors and stuff. I got to catch up and talk to Katrina with Faith and Loops Crochet. So it was so fun to catch up and talk to her. She did really well, so I'm super excited. And glad that she did well. I'm thankful that I got to talk to her and catch up, got to meet her husband and her kids, and they all seemed like such a wonderful family. So, and she got to meet my family, so that was pretty awesome. So once I got done with Glendale, I didn't have to like feel rushed like I had to like market prep. I got to step back and slow down a little bit, which was really nice. And today is currently November the 7th, and it's market day for my Portland, Tennessee craft show. It's their Christmas craft show. So I've got a Christmas shirt on because this is when I get out my Christmas shirts for this show, because I mean, there's Christmas everywhere at this show. It's like the start of the season for me. I know some people think it's too early to start Christmas, but we've already got our tree up. And it's one of those things as a parent, when you've got kids that love Christmas and they love it for the real reason for Christmas, but they also love, you know, seeing the tree and the lights, you let them put the tree up early so that we can enjoy that as a family. So we've got that tree up. We got to decorate it last night because my oldest daughter and her husband and my granddaughter was here, so we got to decorate as a family. So that is all put up and decorated. But the Portland show is Friday, or today, from 5 to 8, and then tomorrow from 10 to 3. And it's one of my favorite shows. This will be my 3rd year doing it. So I'm going to try to show you some footage. So welcome to Market Day for my Portland, Tennessee show. I've got my car packed up and ready to go. We are leaving at 11 because I'm trying to beat some storms that are coming. I do not like driving on the interstate. I have a fear of driving on the interstate. I even have a fear of riding in a car on the interstate. I don't know. Interstates just terrify me. So I'm leaving super early to try to avoid this storm because I definitely don't want to drive on the interstate in the pouring down rain, much less a thunderstorm. So I told my daughter that usually goes with me, I was like, you know, bring you something to crochet. We'll just sit there and crochet when we get everything set up. So we're going to head out here in a little bit, get there early. We've got to be set up by 4 o'clock. So we're going to have plenty of time to set up. I'm going to go get us lunch at one of the restaurants around there. She loves Wendy's. So maybe we can find a Wendy's. I can find a Taco Bell. And we'll just sit and crochet and we'll see how today goes. The first year I did really well at this event. And last year I did not do as well. I don't know if it was the economy, how my booth was set up. So I'm definitely doing a different booth setup. My first year I did the U shape and I was set up in the very back of the gym where they have it. And this year, or last year, I was more up to the front and I did the Z shape. So I'm wondering, you know, if that had an effect that people just didn't like the Z shape. So I will be in the same spot up front as people are coming in, but I'm going to go back to the U shape. So hopefully, since I'll be able to take my time and hopefully there won't be a lot of people there setting up, I can film and show you some video footage of my setup, how I set up, and do more content here at the market. So stay tuned and let's get ready for this event. morning. It is Saturday, November the 8th, so we are on day 2 of this market in Portland, Tennessee. Yesterday was a good day. Let's just say from 5 to 8 when it was open, I did almost just as much yesterday as I did last year in both days, because last year this market didn't do very well. So it is looking better for this year, thank goodness. And of all things, I was afraid that yesterday would have, or last night would have been really slow because we had some bad storms coming in. We were under some tornado watches, and it rained pretty hard. And the people, when they came in, said that lightning was really bad, but it did not stop the people. I still had some good sales. I did sell out of all of the possums that I had. I had a possum snuggie, and I had, I think, 3 possum swings, and I sold all of those. So those were a big hit. Another thing that sold really well was my no fish aquarium, build your own no fish bowl. I think I sold 3, maybe 4 of those. So those were the number one things that I sold a lot of. When I get in there, I will show you a video of what my booth looks like. I did kind of rearrange some things and move some things around as they sold, but I forgot to do the video last night because it ended at 8 o'clock. I was ready to get out of there because I didn't want to walk out in the dark by myself in an area that I'm not familiar with. So when I get back in there, I will show you what my booth looks like. And I can't do any footage of customer interaction because they have music playing and it's rather loud, and I don't want to get copyrighted for it because they're playing different Christmas music, they're playing different Christian music, and I don't want my video to get copyrighted. So that's why you won't see any live interactions, because my daughter was like, Mom, you need to do some customer interactions, and I was like, I can't because of the whole copyright situation. So yeah, so I'm gonna get off here. So the next clip that you see will be what my booth looks like. It is open today from 9 to 3, so let's get in here and get started. So I'm back home from my market. So real quick, in this next clip, it's going to be the final video of the end of the market before I got ready to pack up. So take a look. So it looks like I didn't sell a lot, which I did good, but I didn't do as good as that first year that I did this market. This is the 3rd year, like I said, that I've done this market, and I did really, really well that first year. And then last year, I didn't do well. I mean, to me, for a 2-day market. And this year, I did better than last year, but it still was not a successful market in my eyes. So last night from 5 to 8, I sold 23 items, and then today from 9 to 3 I sold 20 items. So I sold just as much last night in 3 hours as I did today from 9 to 3. And so it's kind of like up in the air, like, should I do this market again? But we love going to this market and sitting and talking to the other vendors because we've gotten to know these vendors. And today my daughter made a friend with one of the other vendors' daughters, and this is their third year doing the market. And she was even talking about how her sales were down and that she didn't know if she was going to go back or not. So let me know in the comments, are you noticing that your sales are not as good at some markets as they have been at that particular market in previous years? Because I'm wondering if sales are just, down because of the economy or what's going on. But I am definitely grateful for what I did make, because it's more than what I did. It's more than what I had when I went there. This booth fee, I think I forgot to mention, was $100. So it was, kind of a pricey booth fee, but I guess if you look at it, it's not that bad for it to be a 2-day market. But then again, last night it was only from 5 to 8. So the items that sold today is I sold out of my jellyfish. I had 2 jellyfish, and I sold a dumpster fire. I sold 2 of my big loaf cats, and I sold 2 of my small loaf cats. I sold 1 of my blueies, and I sold another no fuss friend. I sold my big mermaid, and then my dragon, and then I sold my last flamingo. So I sold out of my flamingos out of this crochet market, or out of this market, or whatever. So I get to take a break. I don't have another market for 2 weeks, and it will be at an elementary school at Auburn Elementary. So while it was kind of slow at this market today, I made a list of signs that I need to do and my goals for next year for 2026, and then some things that I do kind of need to crochet to get ready for this market in 2 weeks, because I have a market on the 22nd and then I have one on the 29th. And so since these are items that I'm completely out of, that I need to replenish somewhat. So on my list, I need to do some flamingos. I need to do some regular turtles. I need some more mermaids, small blueies, chickens, some possums on the swing, possum lovey, some axolotls, jellyfish, and then another dragon. So I can definitely get all of this stuff done in 2 weeks. But it does feel good that it's winding down of the year, of the busy season, so I can kind of take a breath, not go as fast, because I still have a good amount of inventory. But I definitely won't, completely stop crocheting. But I can work on things around the house, get some things organized, work on making some Christmas gifts, because my youngest daughter loves for me to surprise her and crochet her something. So I've got something in mind, and I can't wait to do that. I've got a couple of custom orders. I'm looking up here at my board because that's where I put my custom orders. I've got to do a stitch doll as a custom order, and then the pink stitch, and then I've got to do a front loader backhoe, or whatever you want to call it. And then, do you remember the big comfy couch? As an adult, I loved watching that show. I can't remember when it came out or how old I was when it came out. I just know I was not a 6-year-old that would normally like this show. But I've got to crochet the Molly doll off of the big comfy couch. I still need to buy those patterns, but it's one of those things I'm kind of holding off, hoping there will be a sale, because those patterns are $8 each. And I don't know. I'll buy the pattern, of course, if I need to, but, for the doll, it's $8. For this backhoe thing, it's $8. So I'm hoping that either one of them will possibly go on sale, because I like to try to get patterns on sale. But yeah, I definitely made some goals of things I want to do, and I'll probably eventually share those with y'all into 2026 and give you all those ideas. But yeah, sorry it's been a while since I've done a video, and this video is probably not interesting to some people because I have gotten a couple of comments on some videos of you didn't show enough crochet items. My channel is a mixture of everything. I go over the markets, and then some particular videos I do go over nothing but crochet items, and this was definitely not one of those videos. It was just to kind of say, hey, here I am doing a market. This is how it went, and I was going to try to show you all like a span of the area of where this market was, but people were walking by, and I don't like filming because I don't want them to think I'm filming them and they get upset. So that's why you didn't get any footage of the crowd inside the market. But in this, where the market was in this gym, they had one of those upstairs where you walk around and you can do laps or whatever. So people were set up there and down in the gym. So it was a pretty big market. And I enjoyed it. So we'll see if I actually set up next year or if we just go and shop next year. There is a big market here where I live that's a 3-day market, and I've wanted to try this market, but the booth fee is $350. And I've never paid that much for a booth. But I'm wondering if I should just take a shot at it to see how I do, especially since my daughter crochets as well, so that, you know, I could get her to help me pay the booth fee and do that. But I think they fall on the same weekend. So we'll have to see what next year brings. Who knows? Maybe need to change it up and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to get off here. I'm tired. It's been a busy 2 days, even though it wasn't slow, because markets can wear you out from unloading your stuff, setting it up, you know, being on your feet a lot, talking to customers, and then packing everything up and loading it in your car. But I'm showered, and this time change, like, it feels so much later than what it is right now. I'm not for sure if I'll get this video out tonight or not, or if it'll be tomorrow, Sunday. But like right now, it's a little after 7, and I feel like I could just go to bed because I'm just tired. But yeah, I just wanted to chat with you all, give you an update on how this market went. I'll try to do a video here and there before my next market, but if I'm a little MIA, it's because I'm trying to enjoy slowing down a little bit, getting things done around in my house. I've been decluttering and getting rid of stuff and selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace, because if I'm not using certain market baskets or racks or whatever, I've been selling it and making money that way. So I've been enjoying that. It's also going to start getting cold here, so I may just keep myself inside and crochet or whatever. But yes, I am rambling right now. Sorry about the rambling, but let's cut it the ending short, and until next time, bye.